Question for you. And you've probably been told this so many times before, but how many times? Just let it go. Just move on. Don't be so sensitive about everything. Do you really think, or do people really think, that if it was that easy, then you would have done it by now anyway? You know, sometimes when we have trauma in our life, we cling on to it. And not because we want to cling on to it, but sometimes if you don't process it and you don't go through it and you don't analyze it, then it just becomes part of who you are. And it's not easy to let go of that. You know, a lot of people can't let go of the anger behind things, and that can also lead to you being very depressed and being anxious all the time and completely on burnout, because your mind will keep flicking back to these moments that you've not, processed and dealt with. But there is a way that we can get past that. The thing I want you to know is you're not holding on because you want to suffer. Nobody holds on to trauma because they want to suffer from it. You might find that there is the exception to that. I've found within my therapy business certain people, and it's only a handful, but certain people will hold on to the trauma because they thrive on the attention that it gives them. The trouble with that is people get fed up of listening to the same story over and over again. They get fed up of listening to the morning and they're, just playing the same picture. But for most people, we hold on to it because it's a part of you that you still don't feel safe enough to let go of. You just don't feel like you're in a position that you can let go of it. So I'm Cheryl, a therapist and life coach, and I help people break free from anxiety and the weight of the past using my Heart to Heal method. It's a safe, soulful blend of therapy and coaching that helps you reconnect with yourself at a nervous system level. The truth is, when you've grown up, learning to suppress emotions, avoid conflict, or keep the peace at all costs, letting go doesn't feel safe. I mean, women are better, shall I say, at being able to express what is on the mind and what's going on, because they feel that they can talk about stuff. Men, on the other hand, don't. They don't want to admit that they're struggling. They don't want to admit that they're not happy. They don't want to admit that they can see some sort of a failure. And the reason why we all do this is because letting go doesn't feel safe. So instead, our body holds onto it and it'll store it away, and you just put it in little compartments and you just keep hold of it, and then it keeps coming up and it'll keep coming up and it'll keep coming up in different situations, but that trauma will surface at some point. Our body, like I say, stores everything. The betrayal that you never spoke about, the childhood where you had to be strong for everyone, the fear of being abandoned or judged or dismissed. We hold on to all of that. And like I said, we put it in little tiny compartments. And then when something happens or something triggers it, that little compartment almost like a jack in a box, and out it all comes. I want you to know this though, okay? It's not that you're too emotional. It's that no one has ever taught you how to feel safely without feeling the shame, the guilt, or the panic that comes with that. Letting go doesn't start with focusing yourself to forget. It's not about you forgetting it. It's about dealing with it. It's about getting it out, putting it on the table, breaking it down into little bits and dealing with each section of that. It starts with making space for your pain that you never got to process. You know, giving it time, giving it a voice. And not a voice where it's screaming and shouting and making you feel awful, but a voice that's gentle and relaxed and calm. It's about the words that you never say, or you've never said, the tears that you've held in, the version of you that never felt seen. You don't need to force healing. I don't want you to force healing, but I do want you to heal. You just need the right space, the right support, and the right tools. And that's the work I do in my Heart to Heal method. And together we can gently unpack at your pace what's been keeping you stuck. This will give you the chance to finally breathe again and live without carrying the weight of everything all the time. So if this is something that you find is happening to you and you would like to talk about it, then press on the link and book in for a free call. All it costs you is a bit of time, and you never know that that could be the change that changes the rest of your life. That's it for me today. I shall see you all again soon. Bye for now.